Welcome to Rowdy.com. I'm Buzz Cutler, sitting beside Nate Ryan from USA Today to talk a little Coca-Cola 600 qualifying. I have to say, Nate, the first thing that jumped out at me when I looked at the lineup was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in his first Cup ride, his first Cup qualifying session, bringing it home in 9th.
Yeah, very impressive. And the last car to go out. So, you know, obviously he gets a little bit of an advantage there because the track theoretically should be cooler. It should be at more optimum conditions. But still, your first Cup start ever, and there's already a magnifying glass on you because you've been thrust into this because of the Trevor Bayne situation. And for him to, as you said, get 9th, I mean, I heard someone say that if he could make the lap again, it might have been Carl Edwards said if he could make the lap again, he might get the pole. It was just sort of, he doesn't. He's got that rookie inexperience. So, yeah, very, very impressive for him.
And the guy who got the pole, Brad Keselowski, at least to my mind, a little bit of a surprise.
It was for me, too, especially considering his teammate, Kurt Busch, had gone 3 cars earlier and was somewhere back in the 20s.
Yeah, I'm scanning the list to see where Kurt Busch ended up. Oh, there he is, 26th. It took me a while to get down there.
Yeah, and... you know, irony of ironies, I guess, as you might say. I mean, Kurt Busch was the guy at Darlington a few weeks ago who said that no teammate has ever outrun me during my time at Penske except Ryan Newman for a few times. And I think that Brad Keselowski said after the pole run that had been a motivator for him. And he wasn't angry with Kurt because Kurt's right. I mean, last year Kurt kicked his butt for 36 straight races. But the last few weeks, it seems like there's been a little bit of a shift there where the 2 car has been outrunning the 22 a little bit.
Carl Edwards, probably the presumptive favorite going into this race, had a good qualifying night, brought it home 3rd.
Yeah, and, you know, again, continues as the Sprint Cup points leader to show that there's a lot of consistency in that camp. I mean, we talked about it before. The guy could have 4 or 5 wins this year if not for some misfortune on strategy. I mean, that car has been consistently the best car, I think, every week in Sprint Cup.
Denny Hamlin came into this season, everybody thinking he was going to be the guy to dethrone Jimmy Johnson, has had a really slow start, a really rough start, but he qualified 4th for the Coke 600.
Yeah, he did all right. And you look at the points, I mean, for as off as that team really has been through the first 11 races, I mean, he's on the cusp of cracking the top 12 and being a factor, I think, again. And he's still got... We keep saying it, you know, we keep saying, oh, Martinsville, he'll turn around. Oh, Richmond, he'll turn around. He did get the 2nd at Richmond. He got a top 5 at Martinsville, but he's still got a lot of good tracks coming up, like Pocono, which has always been a Denny Hamlin special. He's won at Michigan. So there's still an opportunity here that if he does well at Charlotte, it could be a precursor of things to come.
Did we learn anything new from qualifying? Are there any surprises? Does it change your mind about who you're going to be keeping an eye on Sunday?
Not really. I mean, 600-mile race, you just I don't think this. If there's any race where maybe qualifying means less than, say, like a restrictor plate race, it might be this one because it's just there's pit stall selection, and you're going to be making what, like upward of 10 pit stops or more during the course of a 600-mile race, but it's still with that kind of length, anything can happen.
You know, it's interesting to mention pit stall selection because this race very well could come down to that final pit stop and who can get out in front to get that clean air after the final caution or the final pit stop, whatever the circumstances may be. So maybe that's the biggest impact that qualifying will have.
Yeah, and we've seen it. We saw it in the All-Star race last year where Denny Hamlin, his team had won the pit crew challenge, so they had first stall, and he got out first in that final segment after, I don't know if he had led prior to that. So, yeah, there could be a situation there, Cutler, where 20, 30 laps to go on Sunday, it's just a matter of who's well-positioned, who qualified in the top 10, takes 0 or no tires, gets out, and gets away.
Right. All right. Nate Ryan from USA Today talking Coca-Cola 600 qualifying. We're going to be talking Coca-Cola 600 finishing on Monday, so make sure you check back in.
Rowdy.com. Say it like it is.
Say what like it is?
Rowdy.com.